start with the question you're probably already thinking. Is there actually any crab in crab sticks? The short answer is usually not. But the longer answer is far more interesting, because crab sticks are one of the most fascinating examples of food engineering in the modern food industry. What looks like crab, tastes vaguely like crab, and even mimics the texture is actually made from something called surimi, a Japanese word meaning ground fish. And the process that turns fish into those familiar orange and white sticks is quite impressive in its precision and complexity. Crab sticks, also known as imitation crab or kani, are one of the most widely consumed seafood products in the world. You'll find them in sushi rolls, seafood salads, and ready-made meals across dozens of countries, with global production reaching hundreds of thousands of tons each year. And yet, most people have no idea how they're actually made or why they taste the way they do. So, let's go inside the factory to find out. From the fish in the ocean to the finished stick in your refrigerator, this is how crab sticks are really made. The foundation of every crab stick is surimi, and surimi starts with fish, specifically white-fleshed fish with a mild flavor and high protein content. The most commonly used species is Alaska pollock, one of the most abundant fish in the world, harvested primarily from the cold waters of the North Pacific and Bering Sea. It's ideal for surimi production. The flavor is neutral, the high protein content gives surimi its signature elasticity, and it's available at a scale that makes it cost-effective. Other species are used as well, depending on region and availability. Pacific whiting, threadfin bream, and lizardfish are all common in different parts of the world. But Alaska pollock remains the dominant choice, especially for products in North American and European markets. The fish are caught by large commercial vessels and often processed quickly, sometimes right on board, to preserve freshness. Timing matters here. The longer the fish sits, the more its proteins begin to break down, reducing the quality of the final surimi. Whether at sea or at shore-based facilities, the fish are then headed, gutted, and filleted. Skin and bones are removed, leaving clean white fillets ready for the next stage. The real transformation happens in a process that was developed in Japan centuries ago, then scaled for modern industrial production. The fish fillets are fed into a mechanical deboning machine, a rotating drum with fine perforations that separates usable meat from bones, skin, and connective tissue. The soft flesh is pressed through, while the tougher materials are left behind. What comes out is a pale, finely textured fish mince, uniform but not yet surimi. At this stage, the mince still contains fat, pigments, enzymes, and water-soluble proteins that would affect the final color, flavor, and texture. So, it goes through a washing process, one of the most critical steps in surimi production. The mince is mixed with cold water, then separated again using screens or centrifuges. This cycle is repeated several times, gradually removing unwanted compounds. With each wash, the mixture becomes cleaner, whiter, and more neutral in flavor. What's left is a concentrated protein base, the part of the fish that gives surimi its ability to form a firm, elastic gel when cooked. After the final wash, the mince goes through a screw press or centrifuge to remove as much water as possible. Then, ingredients like sugar and sorbitol are added to protect the mixture during freezing, helping it keep the texture it needs later. The finished surimi is formed into blocks, packaged and frozen, usually around -4 degrees Fahrenheit, -20 degrees Celsius. These frozen surimi blocks are the raw material that gets shipped to crab stick manufacturers around the world. At the crab stick factory, frozen surimi blocks are stored in cold warehouses until they're needed. When production begins, they're moved to a tempering room and partially thawed, kept cold for safety, but softened enough to be processed. The tempered surimi is then fed into a high-speed mixer, where it's worked into a smooth, uniform paste. As the surimi is mixed, a carefully balanced set of ingredients is added. Starch, commonly wheat or potato, helps improve texture and binding, while egg white strengthens the structure and gives the final product a firmer, more cohesive bite. Then comes the flavor. Crab extract or crab-style flavoring is added to create that familiar taste. Some products use small amounts of real crab extract, while others rely entirely on flavor compounds designed to mimic it. Salt, sugar, and monosodium glutamate are added to enhance flavor, and in some cases, ingredients like sake or mirin are included for subtle depth. Everything is blended until completely smooth, a pale, slightly sticky paste that smells faintly of the sea. Next, the paste needs to be turned into that familiar cylindrical shape, and this is one of the most visually striking parts of the process. The surimi is first spread into a thin, even sheet, usually just a few millimeters thick, and carried forward on a conveyor. This sheet passes over a heated rotating drum. As it touches the hot surface, it cooks rapidly. The proteins set and form a gel, turning the soft paste into a thin, flexible sheet. Within seconds, the sheet travels across the drum and peels off the other side, now firm and slightly elastic. Next comes a rolling stage, where the sheet is wound into a tight log. This creates the layered structure inside each stick. That peel-apart, stringy texture you get when you pull apart a crab stick comes directly from this step. The thin layers separate slightly, mimicking the fibrous structure of real crab meat. Finally, the rolled logs go through a secondary cooking step, usually steaming, to fully set the structure and ensure the product is cooked all the way through. Worth mentioning, that distinctive orange-red color on the outside of a crab stick isn't part of the surimi itself. It's added separately. During production, the surface is coated with food-grade coloring, often paprika extract, annatto, or approved red and orange colorants, depending on the manufacturer and local regulations. The color is applied in a thin, even layer to the outer surface, while the inside remains white or pale cream. That's what creates the familiar two-tone look when you cut or tear into a crab stick. In practice, the coloring is applied as part of a continuous process. Some systems coat the surface with a liquid solution, while others use fine sprays to evenly cover the exterior. Either way, the result is that consistent, recognizable orange finish. Once the color has been applied and set, the long surimi logs move to the cutting stage, where they're sliced into individual pieces, typically around 8 to 12 centimeters long, depending on the product. The cutting happens in a continuous process, with synchronized blades producing uniform sticks at high speed. From there, the sticks move to packaging, one of the fastest parts of the line. Some products are individually wrapped in thin plastic film, with machines that wrap and seal each piece in a fraction of a second. Others are grouped and flow-wrapped together in multi-stick packs. The wrapped sticks are then portioned into retail packs and sealed in outer packaging such as plastic film or trays. Before leaving the factory, the products pass through metal detection, then are labeled, date-coded, and packed into cases for distribution. Crab sticks are a chilled product, so keeping them cold throughout distribution is essential for safety and quality. After production, they're stored at about 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, 32 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, then transported and distributed through refrigerated vehicles to stores and food service outlets. Shelf life is typically 30 to 90 days under refrigeration, while frozen versions can last up to a year or more at minus 18 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, or below. The global distribution network for surimi products is extensive. Surimi is produced in the United States, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, and several European countries, and the finished products get shipped to markets around the world. The logistics of keeping all of that product cold throughout the journey is a significant operational challenge that the industry has spent decades perfecting. Crab sticks carry a lot of misconceptions, and it's worth addressing a few of the most common, because the reality is more nuanced than the reputation suggests. Misconception 1. Crab sticks are made from low-quality or unsafe ingredients. This is one of the most persistent claims, and it's largely unfounded. Most crab sticks are made from Alaska pollock, a species widely used in commercial seafood and managed under strict regulations. Many pollock fisheries, including those in Alaska, are certified by the Marine Stewardship Council for sustainable practices. Production is also closely regulated. In the United States, for example, imitation crab falls under FDA oversight, with requirements for food safety, ingredient disclosure, and clear labeling. Misconception 2. Crab sticks are highly processed and therefore unhealthy. They are processed, but that alone doesn't determine nutritional value. Surimi is a relatively lean source of protein, with a typical serving providing roughly 6 to 15 grams of protein and low fat. The main nutritional consideration is sodium, which can be relatively high due to added salt and flavor enhancers. Compared to real crab, imitation crab is often lower in cholesterol, though the overall nutritional differences depend on the specific product. Misconception 3. Imitation crab is deceptive or misleading. In most markets, labeling laws require clear terms like imitation crab, surimi seafood, or seafood sticks. These rules are designed to ensure consumers understand what they're buying. Rather than a substitute meant to mislead, imitation crab is better understood as an alternative product, designed to deliver a similar flavor and texture at a lower cost. So there you have it. This is how crab sticks are made. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We've got more factory tours, food science, and myth-busting breakdowns on the way. Until next time, thanks for watching.